Hi everyone, this is Kiri here with another layout for Bramble Fox, and for this layout I'm using the fabulous new April Fox box. I've pulled out a number of the perspectives that you can see here that I love I love the font that one uses, it's fabulous, and the 3 grey scalloped frames and those 4 sort of photo corners or chevrons. So I'm going to use the Jen Hadfield Peaceful Heart collection, and I'm just working out here because I'm going to trim off and use the sort of pointed shape rather than the whole paper to give it some direction on the page. And I'm just sort of playing around here with what I'm going to do. So I had an idea that I'd use the larger chevron and then I'd cut a piece out here and I'd add another to the other side. But I do change my mind on that. But you'll see I do play around with sort of where it sits, etc. But that was my initial idea. So photo coming down. And then I move to the center and have the smaller piece at the bottom, which I do like. So I obviously go back and still having to play around here whether this is going to work. But I definitely stick with the large piece at the top and the smaller one at the bottom. And then I'm just working out with the frames how I'm going to use those. I'm going to definitely use the large frame to frame my photo. And then I'm just playing around with the little photo corners or chevrons and just figuring out how I'm going to use those at the moment. Now, the 2 other frames I sort of have sat there, but I do take away the medium size frame and I don't use that one. I just stick with that smaller one. So now I'm just pulling out some of the ephemera. So there's lots of sort of florals and leaves, and I'm going to use that to embellish around the top part of my photo. And then I'm going to create another cluster to the top right as well. So again, I've still got those 2 frames on there and I'm playing around looking at how they're going to sit, but I do stick with just the small frame over on the right side. So just sort of curling up the edges of some of the florals as I go, and working out really where things are actually going to sit. So lots of deciding on what's going to go where, and then I fussy cut that larger white border from any of the pieces of ephemera that needed it. So I think it's going to jump on in a minute, the video, because you didn't need to sit and watch me do all of that. So we'll skip through and you'll see where I've got to. So this is pretty much what it's going to look like. Nothing stuck down, as you can see. So I'm going to start with that. So the larger piece here of pattern paper, I'm just distressing the edges, again, just to give it some texture. And I'll do that on the inner edge as well as the small piece for the bottom of the layout. And then I can get that stuck down. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Foxbox, the Foxbox is the monthly subscription available from Bramble Fox, and you can find that over at bramble.fox.co.uk, and it has all the details on how you can subscribe each month, so you don't miss out on the fabulous new designs that come out every month. So just going to back the frame here with my photo. I'm just sticking that down. And then I decide I am going to raise it actually. I do actually pop some sticky foam on the back of that as well, just to give it some height, and then everything else sort of tucks in underneath it. For the small one here, was just having a look at some of the stickers and seeing if there was something that I could use to back it. But I actually decide on these sort of little purpley mauvey flowers on this piece of pattern paper here. Now, after I did that, I did think maybe I should have gutted the center so I had a frame, but hey ho, I didn't do that. Okay, so I'm backing the small frame, and again, it just coordinates in with the colours of the flowers that I've chosen. So I've stuck with the sort of mauvey pinks and some of the sort of yellowy tones and there's actually a small, like a bluey, soft blue as well. So I've stuck with that. Okay, I'm just now going to work out where things are going to sit. And then I can build up my cluster. Oh, there we go. I'm just going to back that with some sticky foam. And then what am I going to do next? Let's have a look. Okay, still playing around deciding where everything sits. And then I start placing them. Okay, I think the frame's stuck down now. Yes, it is. And now I'm actually starting to stick down the flowers. But it does take me quite a lot of arranging and fiddling around here. So I do move it on so you don't get to see all of that because there is a lot of shuffling of flowers. Okay, moving over to the top right side. And again, just sort of layering up the pieces here. I'm going to add a rainbow over there. I thought the colours were good. It worked in with the colours of the flowers that I'd chosen. And then I start fiddling again with where things are going to sit. And then I decide, actually, do I need something else? So I pull out some of the leaves and I decide to add a few more of the leaves. So I'm going to fussy cut those. But again, here we go, as if by magic, they are all done. And then I'm just going to stick down these final pieces. Just making sure that it is straight with my trusty T-square. And then we can get the other pieces stuck down. Lots of moving around here, deciding where things sit. I didn't like the rainbow showing the black piece underneath and the bit of the frame, so I was really moving that around to get it right. Sorry, everyone, if I sound a bit sniffly. I have got a horrible cold, so apologies for that. Okay, just putting a little bit of sticky foam on the left of the rainbow there because it's going to be sat on over the grey scalloped frame there. Okay. And again, still playing around with those leaves. Okay, I'm going to add the bottom triangular piece and get that stuck down, just making sure that I get that centered. So again, use the T-square to get that perfect, and then just lift up those edges. Right, I think we've sort of stuck everything down now. So I'm going to bring in the final perspectives. And I use the sort of chevrons or photo corners as little arrows, actually. So I have two on one side, and yes, I'm checking that they are straight using the T-square. And then I just pop one over on the right-hand side. Again, making sure it's straight. Couldn't be anything but. Okay, and then I'm sticking down with glossy accents that lovely, beautiful title. I really love the font that Morags used for these. It's lovely, really, really nice. So I add the beautiful title. Now it's an interesting one. I've got a photo of me and the word beautiful, which is not something I'd normally do, but it was a real opportunity for me to explain the meaning of my name, Kirei, because it's actually a Japanese word that means pretty, neat, clean, beautiful. It's like a describing word in Japanese. And I love that it's so unique. And I have my dad to thank for that because he found it when he was working overseas on the ships in Asia, and he thought it would make a lovely name for a little girl. So that was how I got my name. So that's the reason I've got beautiful there. Now I'm just popping some of those gold puffy stickers, just a few of the little tiny flowers. I'm just dotting a few of those around. And then I'm just deciding on where I'm going to pop my journaling. So for my journaling, I started to look at it on the right, but I actually didn't like it there. And I do go over to the left-hand side under my photo. And I'll add it there. And I'm going to just use a sort of a soft grey journaling pen to add my journaling and explain my story. And I think that's the final layout. Here we are. And all I did after I finished was to add some gold splatters that you can just see there in the close-ups. I hope you've enjoyed my process video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks very much.